Hey everyone, I've decided to do this video update because it'll be easier for me to get through everything talking it out than trying to write it out. It's been a mess of jumbled thoughts and stories, and I don't think I could possibly accurately write it all out without being all over the place. At least when I talk and I'm all over the place, it tends to make more sense. And because my audio blogs end up being very huge files, I'm going to do the video thing. Maybe I'll do this once a week or once a month for the duration. When did things start going out of control? I would say the week of my birthday. Well, the week leading up to it, I was already getting pretty depressed. And by the week that it came, the first week in October, full depression just overtook me, and it's a lot of reasons for it. Mainly, one is the getting older thing, and then I started thinking of all these things I wanted to do, and now I feel like I'm too old to do it, and all these things that I was supposed to have done from my last birthday to this birthday and didn't, and depressed about moving again and where I'm living and how I'm living, and just not happy in the least with what's going on in my life. So add that to the fact that the weight's just it's just going up. It was a very, very hard 2 weeks, and a lot of other things happened. Since moving, I have cable now, or DSL, or direct TV or satellite. I don't know which one, but I have it. So I've been just watching a lot of shows, and one show I got really hooked on was What Not to Wear, and that show really hits home for me. I don't know if you ever watch it. It comes on Friday nights. But seeing the makeovers before, it's like, I'm like, that's me on the screen, just from the way they felt about themselves, the way they dressed, and what they needed to hear to snap out of their funk. So probably about watching that show for 2 or 3 weekends, I started feeling like, I need to pull myself out of this, and then I went shopping, and then of course nothing I bought fit the size that I thought I was, which was 14, which even that in of itself was hard to admit to, and that caused another round of depression, and still wearing elastic pants for about 3 more weeks. When I went to then try on the clothes, they just didn't fit. So one weekend I just had an epiphany, and I'm like, okay, that's it, enough of this foolishness of me shopping what I think I wear. Let me just buy my size and shop in my department. So I got all brave, and I figured I'm going to go into Target. I'm going to go to the plus size department, and I'll be fine with it. And I'm there shopping, and this girl and guy, the girl came up to the rack, and she's like, oh, this is cute. It was a wool skirt, and she was looking at it, and the guy was like, you're not a size 26. And then she looks at me, and I'm seeing this out the corner of my eye, and then he looks at her, and then they both kind of scamper away and start giggling. So I'm like, great, one of my fears of being mortified while shopping actually came true, and I was very just down about that whole experience. Then my mom came, and this not last time, but when I first got the cat, because she came to take the mother back home. Wherever we were staying, she got in pretty late, so we were going to go out to get something to eat. And I was like, well, what do you want? And she kept saying, I don't know. And I hate when people want something to eat, and they're like, I don't know. I don't really feel like driving around all night, I'm like, at least give me an idea so I know where in town to drive to. And I was like, well, do you want to go to Wendy's? And she made just a really snide remark, like, you don't need any fast food or something like that. You're big enough as it is. And, I kind of snapped back, oh, really? Am I? I didn't know, thanks for telling me. I would have never figured out I was overweight had you not told me. So that ruined my mood, too. And, like I said, just being really upset with just everything. So I've been slowly trying to come out of it, just doing a lot of reading about things that have nothing to do with weight. And just coming to terms with certain things about myself, trying to accept certain things while I'm trying to be a little bit more realistic about the weight. Because even though, I know the logically, I know it mentally, I know it, physically, the 1.5 pound to 2 pound loss is what the goal is. Emotionally and deep down, I'm like, okay, 5 pounds in 1 week. Okay, let's hope for 3 pounds this week. And, it was like in the back of my self-conscious, but it never really hit me until then, right? Because I still had this deadline, like by the end of this year, by this birthday, by this point in time. And as those milestones pass, it just seemed more and more ridiculous. So that's it in a nutshell. Probably doesn't explain as much as I I've alluded to, and it's mainly because time has passed since I've had certain epiphanies, and I've kind of moved myself forward emotionally. But I do feel like I'm in a better place today. Will that last for a month? I don't know. Will it last for a year? I can't say. Will I ever reach my goal weight? Who knows at this point? But it does mean that I'm not stopping, and it does mean that I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to keep trying. So on the positive side, what I have done, and it's something that I've battled with because of the prices, I'm going to do the takeout food thing, and it's for a lot of reasons. One of the things I appreciate is I get a lot of advice from the site, and sometimes people write and they seem a bit ticked that I'm not doing something that they suggested. But I think what people need to keep in mind is I probably get, let's say, in a month. Ow, the cat is jumping up behind me. Here she is. I probably get, let's say, 10 emails a week, right? Comments and offline. Why don't you do this? How about this? Why not try this? So if you think that I'm going to attempt 10 things, that's pulling me in 10 different directions. I have to do at least one thing. I'm going to ignore that I am from my mom. I'm going to do at least one thing until to its completion. So just bear in mind, if you suggested something and it seems like I'm not doing it, I'm not doing that to piss you off personally. Perhaps I'm trying something else that someone told me before you got a chance to write me. But what I decided to do was to do this takeout food thing, and I was kind of leaning back into the territory of Nutrisystem, but for logistical reasons, it's not too practical. So there is home delivery of foods here. It's expensive. But when I calculated how much I spent on groceries, and then I wasted, how much I spent on eating out, how much I spent on the farmer, how much I spent on the vending machine, I was spending more money in spread out, forms versus what, if I'm buying pre figured out foods that I'm going to eat in one setting, I'm going to make out better. So I'm going to do that. And the meal plan is 1,200 calories, which, at first I was like, woohoo, then I'll, really zap off this weight. But then I thought practically with the exercise I'm going to be doing, it's not good. So I'm going to add in like yogurt and cottage cheese and some fruits. Even though the foods has fruits and vegetables, I'm just going to bulk it up a little bit more. That way I'm not eating just 3 meals. I can still spread it out to like 4 or 5 meals a day. And like soy milk, like soy milkshake or something. So that's my plan. It starts tomorrow evening. I picked it up Mondays and Thursdays, and it'll be Monday's food to Thursday. Then I go Thursday night, and it picks up. And I'm trying it out for this week. The food sounds really good. I'm gonna, of course, do reviews of what it is on my site. It's only local to Atlanta, so I don't think it's anything outside the Atlanta area. But maybe they have something similar in your city, and you can give it a shot. Why am I doing it? I told you the expense. And then there's just the practicality of it. With the bugs that's in this place, I just can't bring myself to cooking. As irrational as it may seem, as crazy as it may seem, that's just the reality. I've been here since, September? I haven't cooked anything, which means I'm eating out or outside all the time, or bringing takeout in, that's another expense. And then the gas money too that I was spending. I don't have to count. I don't have to cook. It's fresh food. I don't have to worry. And with everything else that I'm kind of stressed out about, which is money and where I'm living and school, if and when I'm going back, and just other things, that's just one less thing for me to figure out. So that's the route that I'm gonna go. And that alone makes me feel a lot better. And as far as working out and stuff, like even last night, it's funny, like whenever I'm at my lowest point emotionally, like I look for signs and things.